RWBY talk.
Wow. Okay.
Bruh,
So
let's just start off with the obvious. Ice cream waifu is back. Is what we call
oh yeah.
her. And as one of the greatest lovers of the ice cream waifu, David, do you want to start on that?
I honestly, right now I'm sitting inside of a fucking storage unit to record this.
Okay, yeah. So do you want to know the dedication? The dedication to your content. He is currently moving shit from storage unit to storage unit, and he has closed the storage unit and just crouched awkwardly in the middle of it to do this video. You're welcome.
So, yeah, if there's a little bit of an echo on my end, that's why.
It's actually not too bad, all things considering. But, so yeah, like, and just as we predicted, I kind of figured the formula is, like, really good fight, 3 or 4 episodes, another really good fight. You know, you gotta have, like, 3 or 4 good fights per season as per, like, volume 1 and 2 standards, and we got it with the Neo.
And it was a short, concise fight. So, honestly, I was watching it. I was sitting in the car watching it. I'm like, that's probably one of the best tracked fights we've seen in a long time.
Oh, yeah. Like, and I appreciated, too, that it pulled one of those things where, like, I thought it was over, and then they actually did fight a bit more outside. I was like, ooh, I like that.
But my ice cream waifu might be joining Cinder
again?
After all the shit Cinder has
I don't trust it. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Until the day that, like, fucking Neo full on makes out with Cinder, I feel like she's gonna betray the fuck out of her.
I honestly want to see that.
Because Neo, like,
somebody read that fan fiction.
Neo is smarter. To me, Neo's smarter than that, right? Like, the whole time Cinder's like, you shouldn't be mad at me, you should be mad at Little Red. And I'm like, why? RWBY is not in no way responsible for Torchwick's death.
Honestly, be mad at the Grim that ate him.
Yeah. Well, knowing Neo, I feel like Neo might have already strung that fucker up.
Just silently, maniacally sitting down.
Yeah, where's my Dragon Grim? And it just cuts to fucking Neo just, like, sitting on its corpse, like, fucking playing with Umbrella.
Twirl it maniacally in the rain there.
Her with the hat is some sexy shit. I don't even mean sexy in the literal way. Like I mean, yes, it is, but also sexy in that's fucking awesome.
That hat is just choice, I must say.
Well, I like that when she wore the hat, she had that, like, anger/sad face going on, which is like her basically being like, you know what I'm mad about.
It was straight. So they honestly, if you haven't figured it out, Torchwick is like not into a Clockwork Orange. And Neo honestly takes that to a new fucking twisted level.
So, like, what relationship to Neo? Are you thinking, like, father figure? Like, what does it look like to you?
Honestly, I think it is the father figure.
It seems like it, yeah. Now, and what's interesting is Neo still has this element of, like, pure to her. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yes.
It's interesting that, like, because the faces she's giving is, like, one of sadness, but, like, and confusion. And, like, I'm powerful as fuck and I can kick your ass, but I'm also confused in this big world without my papa figure.
Yeah, for real. And that's what makes me so sad about Torchwick's death is...
I know, I love him.
Now Neo's this broken shell, essentially,
and I'm
without
very
him
nervous that Neo's going to be manipulated, because she seems like someone who could be very easily manipulated. As powerful as she is, she doesn't seem mentally powerful.
Exactly. She still has that childlike mentality.
Yeah, for real. And I hope that she sees through Cinder's bullshit, because there's no reason you should think you should blame RWBY for Torchwick's death in the slightest. Like, I mean, unless I'm trying to I guess you could make the argument he only went on top of the ship because RWBY was there, maybe, but, like, I don't know. It just seems like a real roundabout. Ugh.
Honestly, what I would love to see here, 2 things. One, when you said until Neo makes out with Cinder, I don't believe it for a second. Somebody make that fanfic and tag it hate fuck.
Neo deserves better. Neo is top tier waifu, and Cinder is, like, garbage tier waifu.
But it would be a great hate fuck.
Bruh. Do you think she'd use the umbrella?
But another thing I would honestly...
You can't just skip past that! Alright, go ahead. Continue.
Honestly, another thing I would love to see here is I would love to see her Ramsey Bolton's fucking Cinder. Just maybe then she'll stay dead. She just flays her out on a fucking rack.
You remember the what's the death from that one anime where the chick fucking trips down a staircase and like the umbrella stabs her in the eye?
Another.
Yeah, she needs to do that. Like set that whole Rube Goldberg up.
Toss her the umbrella, she goes down, and it just shoots through her eyes, so stabs her through it.
Indeed. Now, one thing I did want to bring up in the fight, she have you ever watched Kingsman?
Oh yeah,
dude, she Kingsmaned the fuck out of her. Like when she started flinging the cups and bowls, I was like, she's Kingsman.
I was honestly wondering if you fucking catch that. I'm like, God damn, this is right out fucking Kingsman.
I need to watch. I still haven't watched it, but I've seen that fight, and it's sexy.
I've seen that, both of the movies, and then I honestly love the fucking Family Guy episode where they did the food fight that was all tracked to the exactly one for one of that scene.
I really need to watch that movie because it seems like exactly what I look for in like a fight scene. Like it's just so over the top and Ruby-esque in that movie. But yeah, that was cool.
Oh, yeah. The second one's kind of garbage.
That might be like what they were inspired by in that scene, honestly.
Oh, honestly, it could be.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, Neo, fucking awesome as usual, and I would have loved to see. Did you even see the couple moments? I love where she's such a cocky, sassy motherfucker. Like there was a couple moments where she had the one hand behind her back thing. I'm like, bruh.
I love how she, when Cinder said we should talk, she just points.
Yeah, that was so cute. She's like.
And Cinder's like, oh yeah. Right.
Which to me kind of confirms, I've been curious this whole time if she didn't talk by choice or by limitation. And that almost seems to imply that she literally cannot talk.
I want to know if she's just mute or if there's some sort of other reason why she can't talk.
So can you be born mute? Or, I mean, I suppose you can be born anything, but like what would... You can either be born it, I suppose, or maybe like some injury.
Yeah, so I'd like to know the history of that.
Same. Wow. But no, yeah, and especially that moment too where she points, like again, it really just like shows the innocence that she has to me. Like there's a huge level of innocence that she still has. And I like, how old is she? Like she's giving me like childish vibes, and she always has, but like especially in this scene.
Exactly. So What else? What else is here?
Well, okay, yeah. So first of all, this bitch that runs the spider place, she needs to get smacked in the face. Like she's just never before has there, maybe that except for Tyrion has there been a character that needs a fucking smack. Anyone that's like I always get my job done, honey. Sugar lips.
The sassy Southern vibes.
I hate that fucking voice. I'm sorry. No offense to Southerners. But, like, Southerners like that was like, honey, girl. I'm like, shut up. I'm sorry.
Just zip your mouth and shut the fuck up. And that's coming from...
Maybe it's because
from somebody that grew up with Southerner parents.
Maybe it's because hers is, like, a very clearly, like, you're fucking putting it on. Like, it's like, ugh.
Oh, yeah. It's clearly a faked accent. That's what annoys me with it.
That's what it is. Now, here's the theory I want to go into with you. Do you think, considering the name of this farm and how much intention was put on the fucking family portrait, could this be Torchwick's family?
It could be. It could also
There was two ginger boys in that fucking shot.
There were two ginger boys, and then there also could be, and this is me just kind of spitballing here, it could be one of the incarnations of Ozpin grew up here too.
That could make sense. I'm almost wondering, though, like...
Because we seem to have a lot of focus on Ozpin this season.
You're right.
So...
But it does seem like the... What was the fucking farm name again? It was something Wick, again, which I thought was a little bit like, that's weird. You know, and considering it's, like, timed with this whole Torchwick focus. And then the focus on the... maybe, but, like... I guess we have to figure out where the story would go from each of those options. Like, if it was one of Ozpin's...
It's called Brunswick Farms.
Brunswick, yeah, okay. So that just seems like a little too too much, like you know what I mean? Like if you work on RWBY, if you're RWBY as they call themselves, and you're like, okay, we're gonna make a farm, and the words "wick" is in it, you don't think someone's gonna be like, that's kind of like Torchwick, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
It definitely wasn't an accident, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Now, a couple things we got to talk about too. The whole people just kind of fell asleep, and everyone keeps saying, "Oh, I'm just so tired." Wait, Weiss and Yang said it. There's some sort of fucking air around this fucking place that makes people just fall asleep and die, which is kind of fucking. I'm getting horror movie vibes from this.
Oh yeah, horror movie / maybe some Sleeping Beauty vibes here.
Oh yeah, that would make sense since they go for the fairy tale. But like, I guess. What's your thoughts on that? Because like, especially like I was really nervous. Like Yang said it originally, and I was like, "Uh-oh," and then Weiss said it, and I was like, "Oh no, oh." Not
my Weiss.
Speaking of, and then so high key ship vibes in this episode. So we have, by the way, so let's just start with Weiss and RWBY's interactions. There are so much. There's the sexual tension in the air. I don't give a fuck.
I could cut it with a knife.
Bro, like
that's also good.
The best. Okay, so there was 2 moments where I was like, I would not even be surprised if they just jumped on each other and started fucking right now. One of them was when RWBY looks over and Weiss is in that fucking like robe or like towel or blanket or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That straight up, tell me that wasn't like I look across the room and I see my waifu in a towel.
Oh, fuck.
And to me, this is me reading way too far into everything, but like, you know, Weiss was just like, oh, I'm so cold and hungry, blah, blah, right? And then when RWBY was like, oh, we could go and look over here, Weiss there was a little bit of disappointment in her eyes. I think Weiss wanted some cuddles.
A little disappointment in her eyes. Like,
she was trying to get cuddles!
She's like, come on. You fucking dolt.
She's gonna have to realize that it's RWBY. She's gonna have to lay it on real thick if she wants the hints to pass through.
For real though.
And then the other one that was like real cutesy was when she found the canned food and she needed to do like
the old school Family Guy, fucking almost like
the fucking airline thing to her vagina. Yep. Bing, bing, bing. Oh, I don't know. Oh, what? No, yeah, I mean, because that's actually a funny little interaction that they have, because, you know, Weiss she was raised to be very proper and prim, so there's no way she would ever just come out and be like, want to fuck you, you know, whereas RWBY is probably someone who'd be like, yeah, I'd like to. I don't know, like, there's like shy and proper, I don't know.
Shy, proper, and adorable.
It's just, there's no other ship, it's just really, there's no other options, okay? At this point, there's no other paths to go down. Neither of them have any other fucking romantic thing, and every time they're together, there's some shit going on. It's going down. And just as a logistics standpoint, if Team RWBY doesn't do a fucking gay ship, the mobs of the SJWs will go after them. You know they will. They'll be like, Ree! So, like, they have to at this point. Like, it's confirmed.
Okay, so the other one that I really want to touch on is RWBY going into the wine cellar and it's like,
that was sad. That hurt me.
Maybe we should just leave this one closed off.
See, I know that you love the alcohol jokes, but like I hope that you caught like the legit sadness of that moment because that that hurt.
It's like honestly, I could picture Crow just hitting rock bottom in there after finding out that Ozpin wasn't who he said he was.
There was a lot of dark theming in this episode. Like it went from the PTSD that Yang still has with her arm literally shaking. And then to that...
And then seeing Adam.
Oh, yeah. And I gotta be honest, like, I relate to RWBY here. I've told you before, maybe I've talked about it on the channel, my parents had serious alcohol problems as well. And that caused me to have a severe fear of alcohol. And so I relate to RWBY here where, like, you know, I would hide alcohol from my parents, too. I would steal it from their cupboard, pour it down the drains. You know, I would try my best to move it anywhere else, and so they couldn't get to it. But obviously that doesn't work.
Sends this video to your mother.
Oh, she knows. I've told her. This is shit I did when I was like 10. She can't get mad at me for that. But But and, you know, well, I realized
that real quick.
what it ended up. The reason I stopped doing that is because I realized we were like middle class to upper middle class anyway. So all that would happen if I poured alcohol down the drains is they'd just spend money to buy more, and so it was really just fucking my parents financially, if anything. So they're gonna get their alcohol no matter what I do.
Exactly.
But either way,
just like any alcoholic will.
Yeah. So, but I feel like if we want to go into like dark territories, and I could even see Dishwasher doing an art like this, doing a piece like this. Maybe like I could see Crow maybe like severely. I wouldn't say like anything crazy like hitting her, but like I could see Crow like scaring her severely. Like maybe he got drunk real bad one time and like fucking cursed at her or like swear at her when she was like, you know, 8. You know what I mean? Like I could see that.
Yeah, definitely. It could go that route. It could be fucking.
Like I can visualize
as dark
it now,
as they're going.
like Ty getting like real pissed at Crow, like get the fuck out of my house if you're gonna scream at my daughters like that, you know?
Oh yeah.
The cactus! I forgot the cactus wasn't locked, so I went to like wipe something off my screen, and the cactus just flew away. Continue.
Honestly, I can see it going down that route now that we're getting more and more into dark themes again. It seems like the first volume's like happy, everybody's friends. The second one's like, oh shit's getting real, and then the third one's like, oh fuck.
This is how to properly do dark themes, because when Volume 4 came out, they were like, oh, we want to make it all dark now, and their idea of dark in Volume 4 was the villages are deserted and there's a scary grim and it's scary and dark and not colorful and stupid, and now this is dark, man. You get to the PTSD,
oh yeah,
the fucking arguments, Ozpin's fucking heart being broken, and like there was a, you know, that dude that does the RWBY cracks. They did the, you know, the meme, the Simpsons meme, where it's like, if you pause it here, you can see the exact moment where his heart breaks in half.
Oh yeah.
It was that moment with when Crow told him that like meeting him was the worst luck ever, and he's just like, oh. Oh my god.
It's
but yeah,
definitely.
Go ahead. Uh-oh. Did you find a fucking fox in the storage unit?
No, there's definitely got to be something that's done with this whole arc of dark we've got going on. So I honestly, at the end of the episode, the cellar door moved.
What's in that shit?
That is what I'm curious about. Is that what's causing all of this sleepy bullshit going on?
Yeah, speaking of dark, yeah, that was dark too. Like just finding the corpses in the bed like that, I was like, damn, Ruby.
Right. Like, I honestly, I cannot wait till next episode right now, because they have perfectly, and I always call this, but they've perfectly captured the Bleach effect. Ending on a cliffhanger, but what they've done that Kubo didn't is there's actually fucking payoff here.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And it's renewing my faith in Team RWBY here, episode by episode episode, as we go on.
I don't think there's been a bad one of the bunch yet.
Out of this entire volume, I don't think there's been bad. There's been subpar moments, but there definitely hasn't been, you know, a bad episode.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it, to me, is going to be how they handle the finale. Because in last volume, the finale is where everything fell apart.
Exactly.
So that'll be the ultimate test, is how they handle the finale here. But yeah, I guess one other thing I want to talk about is Trouble in Bumblebee Town. So I like what they're doing here, because Yang is a very, very, very independent person. And
then the moment that Blake said, I'll protect you.
So, like, here's my guess on what was happening there, right? So she was liking what Blake was saying until that moment. I think what Yang wanted Blake to say was, when Adam shows up again, we'll fight him together.
Yeah.
But she...
Or...
Good.
We'll take him, or
we'll take him on together. We will work together and fight him. But what she's trying, Blake is kind of taking on this like parental, you know, maternal role here, where like, and I think that kind of pisses Yang off, because Yang doesn't want to be looked at as someone weak, someone to be protected. She's always been bombastic like that, and this is actually interesting because this legitimately does happen in relationships. Like if you're trying to have a relationship, this will kind of happen where someone wants to be kind of like, you know, maybe like, because that's like a very common thing, like who in the relationship ends up being the paternal one, the protector. But that can kind of, if both want to be that can kind of cause
Mm-hmm.
So I think that Blake needs to realize now, and I still don't know if Blake is going down romantic lane with Yang or just friendship with Yang. It's tough to say, and I suppose that'll be the big fucking triangle as we go through. Is it Sun or is it Blake or Yang?
Yeah, it definitely. That definitely hurt. Like, I know that feeling all too well here,
hell yeah.
and I'm like, that hurt me more than the "let's lock the cellar" moment, because you can't have it both ways here. I know they both want to take on that role of, like, I'm the strong one, I'm the one that you can rest your head on here, but at the same time, you can't both be that. You know, there has to be some common ground, but there has to also be that here is what we need to do if we want to pursue this relationship here.
And I wonder, too, if maybe they're going down the road of, like, Blake is kind of being a hypocrite here, because she had just finished talking about how Adam would, like, manipulate her mentally, right? And Adam would belittle her and, like, drag her down to where Adam was. It almost, she might, like, Yang might be thinking, like, you're doing the same thing that you didn't like that Adam did. You know, you're, instead of empowering me, you're belittling me and telling me to cower in a corner while you protect me.
Yeah, that definitely could be the route they're going here.
I thought that was really, and that plus that and the whole, like let's lock the wine cellar because my uncle, like, both of those were really, really good moments that really got me emotional. And Neo's back. This maybe is the Torchwick farm. I don't know, but, like, I guess final thoughts and predictions, David.
Honestly, right now, it feels like what they're going to do is reveal what's in that cellar in the next episode, because I'm sure when the chain rattled, because they focused in on that chain, that Weiss and RWBY might have heard that, or at least one of them did, and they're going to go investigate that horror movie style here, and hopefully find out what's causing this farm to be literally a corpse paradise.
Interesting, yeah. And I guess, where do you think this whole Neo, like what's Neo going to do? Where do you think this is going with Neo?
I don't know, and that's what hurts, because Neo is going to be easily manipulated because she doesn't have Torchwick with her.
Oh, God.
Because she still...
I just imagine
still
Neo meeting Salem. Ugh.
Yeah, God, that would creep anybody out with that mentality. Because she's still, like you said, she still acts like a child. She still isn't that, because she can't vocalize anything. So she can't be like, I don't want to do anything for you. I want to do everything for myself, or I want to kill you.
She should honestly, like, she should direct her rage towards Salem. Not saying she can beat Salem, but, like, Salem is clearly, like, I think the two most responsible are indeed Cinder and Salem. Salem for creating this operation to begin with, Cinder for dragging Torchwick into it.
Exactly, because Torchwick in the beginning was just a fucking dog down the street. And, you know, sadly, it is that, like you said, you can't beat him, join him.
I actually hope that when and if Neo does interact with RWBY, I hope RWBY can be like, you know, I was never going to kill Torchwick. Like, I'm not a killer. Like, I was, in fact, I don't know if you remember, the entire time I was giving him a shonen protagonist-esque speech about love and friendship, and then he was the one kicking me on the ground saying, fuck love and fuck friendship.
Right? But yeah, that's the tough one here. What I think will happen is, if Neo learned anything from Torchwick, it would be how to manipulate your enemies.
That's true. And the real world doesn't care about spirit. The real world doesn't care about, you know, you trying hard. I cheat to win and to survive. And see, I think if she's going to learn anything about Torchwick, you're right. Yeah. Like, what did Torchwick do? Lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, survive. You are number one. So, like, if she has to fucking double agent style join Salem and, like, play the long game just to fuck them over, she will.
Yeah, so that might be the end goal here for Neo. Is like, I'll join you in time just to save the world and fuck you all over.
You're gonna see. There's gonna be a moment like 3 volumes from now where like Neo and Cinder are about to work together to fight someone, and then a fucking umbrella.
Neo's so goddamn badass. She only shows up once every 3 volumes.
Yeah, no, I was saying like there's gonna be a moment where Neo just like straight up like umbrella through fucking Cinder's heart from the back and then twist. I'm telling you, it's happening.
It's like. All right, any predictions from you?
Fuck, I'm gonna have to get a new umbrella. It's all bloody now.
Any predictions from you before we end this off?
I want to see Neo encountering Salem, because I assume Cinder, as much as she probably doesn't want to, is going to have to go back to Salem and beg for forgiveness. And she implied, because Salem was like, oh, Cinder's got to fucking learn, blah, 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 blah. She was implying that she would forgive her, take her back, blah, blah, blah. So, I think that Salem's going to go back, or Cinder's going to go back to Salem as well, and Neo might join. And then there's going to be that awkward moment, like, however fucking Neo reacts to that, and however Cinder reacts to the fucking verbal scolding that she'll probably get from Salem. And I hope to see kind of the beginnings of the conniving from Neo, because Neo's going to be planning some shit.
How will Neo react to the
and I really do, at some point, I want to see a Neo flashback. Like, I want to know why Neo, because Neo is stupid powerful. Like, I consider Neo to be, like, top 10 in the verse. So I want to know, why is she so powerful? Like, she was one-handing a fucking maiden. Like, I don't know if you noticed. So it's like,
yeah,
what's going on here? What made her so powerful? What in her flashback made her so powerful? Because, like, you got to think about it. Like, the first time I realized how powerful she was in Volume 2, where you have the boss is supposed to be Torchwick, but he gets taken down almost immediately. But then you get to the Yang fight. The only person of the crew that lost their fight was Yang, because she fought Neo. And every single time they fought, it's very clear that Neo is leagues and leagues above Torchwick. So it's strange to me that relationship that they had, where Torchwick was way, way, way weaker than Neo, but Neo followed Torchwick. I want to know why.
Exactly. So, yeah, we need that flashback. We need to learn more about Salem's crew still. But, yeah, goddamn. Let's keep this up.
Yeah, it's doing great. And let's see what the whole horror movie-esque falling asleep shit in this town is. And I want more character interactions like we had here. Like slowly throughout the season. I'm excited to see where that goes. So, peace.
Peace.